This is part three of the emergence and antiquity of humankind.
These kinds of debates and controversy influenced yet another French man, a paleontologist and geologist, Edouard Latte. And this inspired him to bring to light the first evidence of Paleolithic carvings in 1861. But his most significant discovery would be 3 years later in La Madeleine, Dordogne. You see, he found an ivory blade on which a mammoth outline drawing was engraved. This, without a doubt, proved that man and mammoth lived at the same time. Interestingly, at about the same time, further research led to some remains that were found at the gorge of Leanderthal in the Rhineland of Prussia. And of course, this gave rise to whether these were deformed individuals or primitive man. And as we know today, these were, of course, primitive.
In the midst of all these discoveries,
An English general known as Augustus Pete Rivers became immensely interested in archaeology studies during his active post in Europe. He began collecting and organizing these objects in a way that showcased them over a long span of history.
what was so great about his collections was that he used everything available to him. So he collected objects and items and he arranged them in sequence. So it was not necessarily about their strangeness or natural worth. He collected and included everything.
Pete River also purchased many objects from dealers, auction houses, and carried out his own excavations. He documented his findings in great detail. These collections formed the foundations of the Pete Rivers Museum in Oxford. This vision of human expansion was strengthened by Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin expanded on a theory known as transformism.
So basically, if you're alive today, you have traits from your ancestors that are not necessarily upgraded but have been modified to your current environment. And these traits and characteristics will be passed down to your future generations and they will be better suited for their own environment.